I'm live. How you guys doing? Okay, so my first impression thoughts of the Kitkat update that was recently released for the Desire 601, and this was like a long-awaited. Um, Gosh, man, everyone was just. I was just getting so many messages about whether it was coming, what was going on with it, and I got to give a special shout out to Chen Opai for basically our conversations. He led me to actually going and checking out for the update, which then I found it, downloaded, all, and yeah. So,
Yeah, so that,
hey, you're here. All right, cool.
yeah.
So, anyways, what I'm going to talk to you guys about is some of the stuff that happened with the update, the pros and cons, things that, to me, like, have given me kind of a bad review of this, and we'll both go over it since we've had like our conversations about it. Um, First thing I want to go with the update. I think that the look of it, it wasn't really like a big eye popper for me. It wasn't like you really saw too much of a change with Sense 5.5. Even with like the lock screen, it was really it's like as if like they just wanted to get us this update out as fast as possible. Really didn't make too much changes to it. Um, with my lock screen, I only have like one widget page, which is like my Hangouts. There's no adding another page on your lock screen widget. It's not even all that great to me. And at times when you try to swipe on the screen, sometimes it gets glitchy and it doesn't go. You just have to like really push it like as if it's not a capacitive screen. So that's to me that's like a total bummer. Um, the music widget, we touched base on this. The music widget was
Okay.
it was a little disappointing. It was yeah, it was. You didn't get the album art cover. I mean, I don't know. It's totally different from like on my Evo where I have CM11. I mean, on the lock screen you can add more widgets to it, and then even like the music widget was a lot better. So
The album art cover?
yeah, the album cover. You get the album cover with Cyanogen 11, but that's like based off of pure like Google experience, and even that is better than Sense 5.5. I mean, you still like you get a music widget, but some people like to have the album cover displayed on there a little bit more, um, just a little bit more info. I don't know. I just like I said, it's poorly put together. That is one thing that I've seen, um, which would lead me to say that HTC was kind of like rushing this, I guess. Another thing that was pretty much like a what the hell happened was the boom sound, and a lot of people I've gotten emails. A lot of people are going through this same problem. Even my fiance's phone is going through it. It got quiet. It's like the boom sound system completely broke with the update, and so now you have like these speakers that can't even like push sound out really well. It's so drowned. It's quiet. It's not what you expect anymore, and it seems to be broken on it. Um, Dude, I didn't get the same email you got, the one that you screenshotted me about them getting your message.
Oh, really? What did you get then?
They haven't actually responded to me on that yet.
Oh, wow. That's unusual, yeah. Because I sent them the information, but I don't know what they've done with it so far. I haven't gotten anything back from that either.
Mm. Yeah, dude, I didn't get no response yet, but I am hoping that since they responded to you, like other people have made the complaint and maybe they're working on a patch.
Yeah, hopefully. Has your community said anything about it? Like,
No,
oh,
just
wow.
just several people that follow me have like hit me up on Hangouts or on my email, and they were asking the same thing because they did the update around the same day that you told me about it, and then
Hmm.
the sound broke on theirs too. So I just
Yeah, it seems to be for everybody.
yeah, I think totally like this update just completely broke boom sound, and then so I advise everybody to like send like some type of message to HTC letting them know that. Well, and I hope that they build a patch ASAP, at least within a month. And
Yeah.
Or Sense 6. I remember you showing me that screenshot that there might be a possible Sense 6, and I'm really exploring that too.
Hmm. But do you think Wikipedia is accurate then?
Yeah, the thing you showed me about the Sense 6 for the Desire 601 and several other desired devices. We're trying to get like a confirmation back from them because I keep when I go with a live chat with a representative from HTC, like some of them will break silence on what they're doing, which they're not supposed to, and then some will, they'll stick to protocol, which is, their standard layout excuses that they give everybody. And to me, it's like, well, for me, it's frustrating because they like Singapore and Canada got the updates before we did. And their main complaint with it was Wi-Fi not being able to connect properly, or like the SD card issue with Kitkat. And so that was my biggest fear. But getting it now, and those two things are working, but boom sound breaking is a huge thing for me because that's the only reason why I actually chose this device over many different ones, was the fact that I like having the speakers at me. And I've used it, at times when I'm out with my family, I use it to play music or whatever at the park with my daughters. And you could barely hear it now, and that was like even doing the factory reset and the H boot helped my phone, but some people have done it already that I've passed this knowledge to, and like after a few days, the problem repeats.
Yeah,
So
the same thing with me. Yeah, I think my speakers are still the same way it was before I factory reset it as well.
yeah, yeah, totally, dude. And to me that's poor. I mean, when they're trying to, I mean, along like with the M8 that they recently came out with, and just that being like their flagship, and then pushing that out. What frustrates me about companies is that they build mid-tier and low-tier devices, but like they put it out there with little support, if that none. And
Hmm.
that really frustrates me because the market of Android is so huge. Not everybody wants to go out and drop $600 on
Yeah,
the.
HTC One. Yeah.
They would rather have something that would fit their budget and actually work with them. And then if you don't, add support to that, it gets frustrating because it's like, damn, this is a POS, obviously, or they're just not doing it the right way. And I frown upon that, because I really like had high hopes for HTC. Like I switched from Samsung over to HTC and gave them a chance. And this update it's good. It just there's a lot of things I frown about. That's just the main thing. It's I feel so bad for it. Like it was like so long. It's the summer now. We should have had this update months ago, and we get it now. They barely announce it, like you said. Like I had no idea it was ready. It was still in certification on their website. That was the most like trippiest thing ever. And then even that, even till today, it's still in certification. It has not said they rolled it out yet. So that's what's
Yeah.
funny. That's super hilarious to me. And
Yeah.
then even then by that, like the experience is just it's as if like I'm still on Jelly Bean. That's what I feel from it when I use my device. It feels just like Jelly Bean. I don't see a lot of really big changes. And maybe I'm just like wishing for too much. But I think for me that's like the point of an update, especially a major update jumping from like Jelly Bean to Kit Kat. You expect a bigger change
Yeah.
than all update, like what they did with 4.4 to 4.4.1 and yada yada on over. Like with a huge jump, you expect more change. That's what I was hoping for, and I got a frown on it, and I'm hoping they do that patch software. That's the
Yeah.
main thing is get some of the bugs fixed is really what I want HTC to do,
Hmm.
and give us some different I don't know, just give it a different look. I mean,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind my album art either.
yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a whole lot more they could have done. Like, I truly, honestly believe that they just had their developers just whip this up really fast and get it out there. And I've always said this before, like with updates, everyone's always going to push for updates regardless, no matter what device they're on. They're always going to rush. They're always going to like scream and complain, like, "Where's my update?" And it seems frustrating when you have all these customers complaining. But if you take the time to build the update right and get it out there, well then it's a lot of those people will kind of die down with their anger issues because you give them something that's beautiful looking, easy on the eyes, user friendly, and just an all-out general new experience, it's like they got a brand new phone out of the box. That's how they feel. And then,
Yeah, completely agree.
yeah, less complaints there. And I don't think they did that with this. I totally don't believe in that. It's like I frown on it. I was surprised about the battery life. Battery life didn't change for me, but right before my fiance left, just about 10 minutes ago, she was telling me that her battery life got really bad, and like she's a huge gamer on devices. Like anytime I like use a device and I want to know how it really runs, I give it to her because she's like social network, gaming, music, videos. She will run the phone through every testing that could ever possibly be done. And she was just telling me like she got up this morning at 11 here where I'm at in Phoenix, and it's like 3:41, so about maybe like 3:15. She was at 38% from 100%. That's really crappy battery life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Kitkat was supposed to actually make the battery life better.
Yeah,
It was,
because it's just less RAM. Yeah.
yeah, it was everything. It was like it was supposed to be a more condensed software, so it wasn't supposed to take up too much of your internal storage. It was supposed to use less RAM, which was marketed that any device with 512 megabytes of RAM on up could use that software smoothly.
Hmm.
And the battery life on her phone just completely went down. I told her I was going to factory reset it and see maybe if it'll do anything. And that's like my other biggest complaint. We have no access to the recovery unless you're, if you rooted your phone and installed a custom recovery, the stock recovery is not existing. You can't get into it.
Yeah, but that was something that was weird though, because I was talking to somebody on the forum, and they had the same phone we do, and they were able to get in recovery. So I don't know how they did it.
Yeah, I see that too. Like I check on XDA on there, and I see a bunch of people posting about that they've gotten into recovery, and I'm thinking that they actually did the root and install a different recovery, a custom recovery, either from Clockwork Mod or from Twerk. I don't know what recovery they're exactly using, but it's literally non-existent for stock devices. Like I've tried 3 times, I've hit recovery, and it just reboots the phone.
Hmm. Well, if they were like with Virgin Mobile Canada, would that be something different than Virgin Mobile USA?
Yeah, that'd be totally different, and because Virgin Mobile Canada uses a more of a GSM factor, from what I've seen, a lot of the devices that they have are GSM devices, and the 601 does have 2 different brands. It does have a dual SIM, which is a GSM, and then CDMA, which is ours, and those are 2 different technologies. So they actually could access the recovery if it's not locked on their end, but Virgin is becoming tyrants like Verizon, where they want to lock everything down. So that is like another biggest complaint of mine is because, I mean, for me, someone who actually is involved, gets, messes with their phone and knows what they're doing, should have the right to access these features. I mean, it would prevent less, calls to customer service for help if they can fix the problem themselves, which you had told me someone posted that all you had to do was get in recovery and wipe the cache and down the cache, and that would fix the speaker problem. But for us, it hindered us helpless because, I could try to fix my recovery right now, and I guarantee they'll just kick me the hell back out, which really pissed me off because it's like the only thing you can do is factory reset if you want to wipe those 2 cache folders. But that's like wiping all your info off the device, and that's a headache, especially if you don't have like a way to back it up, and we're not rooted, so we can't use titanium backup to actually back up all these things. But I'll try to boot into recovery right now and show exactly what I get. So, and it's painful. Like I can't wait for the exploitation for the KitKat to root. I'm definitely gonna root this damn phone and get it and get it going.
Yeah. So, am I the only one here? Because I'm not seeing anybody else.
Well, right now you are. I don't know if anyone else is gonna like jump in. 2 of the guys that said they're gonna watch, they're actually here at my house with me.
Oh, okay.
they're watching me like live.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, but best thing about this is that after I'm done, it goes on my YouTube channel, so anyone that wants to catch it later, they can watch it.
So I'll be on YouTube as well?
Yeah, you'll be on YouTube as well, dude.
Sweet.
But yeah, dude, like if I hit recovery, it'll just, oh shit, it's like really bright. You guys can barely see that, but I'll just hit it anyways, and it's just gonna throw me back into like into the phone itself. It's not even gonna like boot up recovery at all.
So you don't get the little warning screen with the exclamation mark on it?
Well, I got it now.
Oh yeah, see that's what I get to. But then if I try the next step, it just restarts my phone.
Yeah, when I tell you to hit volume up and power.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just gonna put you back into your phone. That's what.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I got it.
What? How? Oh, that is nice.
Cool. Touchdown live, dude. Excuse my curse.
Hey, that is awesome.
You're
What did you do differently?
weapon?
I said, what did you do differently?
Nah, I got to that screen you were talking about with the exclamation point. Then I pressed the volume up button first, and then I pressed the power and held it for like 4 seconds, and then it just popped up.
Yeah. Maybe I've been pressing power first. Maybe that's my problem.
Yeah, well, anytime you're trying to get into recovery, if you have to use the volume buttons, I would suggest pressing the volume buttons first before power.
Okay. All right.
But you're
Yeah,
good.
well,
This is number 2 for you, man. I'm giving you huge shout outs right now. You're good luck.
nah, it's cool. It's cool. I'm fine with it.
Let's see. Wow, so I'm in stock recovery right now. That's awesome. Let's wipe the cache and see if that'll help any other glitches I have. So I'm wiping it right now.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty neat. All right, so when the Hangouts is over, I'll go try that then, see if it works.
Yeah, see if that'll fix the speaker problems. And anyone that watches this later, we just got this going. So if it works for you guys, wipe the cache and see if that will actually repair your boom sound and you get your volumes back up, because that was a big no-no. And I just don't get how that still boggles me. I don't get how the software can break, such a feature like that. That's a huge feature advertised by HTC, especially since they separated from Beats Audio. That was like kind of like their way to replace it. How could you let that break the update?
So on your Evo, you can get into recovery just fine, right?
Oh yeah, with my Evo 3D, I get in there just perfectly. Matter of fact, I could do it just from powering off and just selecting to go into recovery. My Evo device, it's amazing to me about the Evo just for the fact that the Evo V4G has more development than the Galaxy S2 did. And like, I was a huge fan of the Galaxy S2 and all the different style ROMs they had. I mean, I have a bunch of ROM reviews on my YouTube channel based on that phone. And the development for that phone actually ceased. There's not a lot coming out, but the Evo V4G is like catching a buttload of updates.
Yeah, I saw your 4.4.4 update video. I was thinking of maybe rooting my Evo, maybe get some stock Android on there.
Yeah, the only thing I frowned upon about this device, and my friend Alex right here can contest to this, was getting the S off was super pain in the ass. I thought I was basically doing like a Mission Impossible, having to take a paper clip and plug it into one of the holes in the back. See if I pop this off. But like, there's like 2 tiny holes right where my finger's pointing to, and you have to put like a paper clip in one of the holes and then touch the other end on the metal part that's covering your SD card, and then you have to run this software that's supposed to S off your device. But if you just barely move that pin, it will mess up the whole thing and you have to start all over. So it was headaches because it took me literally an hour just to get it right. And
Wow.
I had to like freeze every muscle in my body so that clip would not move until the software ran what it was going to do to S off the device. I think like with HTC, they make you jump through hoops for everything, and that's wow.
But isn't Samsung worse though with their Knox security system that they have?
It's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's back and forth with that one. I mean, like the Galaxy S2, I consider that to be like the non-brickable device. I could recover that phone out of any problems that it goes through, whether it's like even when it's hard bricked, I can recover out of it. That's what's best about it. But it leaves that open window where like someone can take a ROM from another device and port it over to the Galaxy S2, but it doesn't function correctly and it soft bricks your device like that. Those are headaches. It's like having to recover using Odin. It gets annoying having to set it in download mode, plug it into your computer, and let Odin flash it back, and then starting all over again. It's headaches, but so it has its ups and downs, its pros and cons to it. But To me, the Galaxy S2, I consider that the non-brickable device. There's too much development that protects people, even like newbies, from screwing that device up. I just wish that the development on it would continue on, because it is 3 generations behind from the S5, and I know it's not going to have the same things the S5 has or even the S4, but you could do some serious damage with the Galaxy S2. That device was like, it was pure. It was pure my expectations of a great phone. Just the bad thing about it is that power button glitch it has, which certain devices have it, where the power button just seems to fail. And I've taken it apart trying to fix it, but I'm gonna actually have to get a new power button and solder it on the motherboard, and then re-put the phone back together.
Yeah, my friend with the Victory 40 LTE, I think he had that problem as well.
Yeah, it's synonymous with the Epic 4G Touch. A lot of those phones got them. I don't know why. Bad, probably, just something, probably like how when they manufactured it with Samsung, it was just probably just all bad altogether. Like I don't know if they rushed it or what, or the part that they chose for a power button was just not good. But yeah, almost everybody went through that same problem, which is why a lot of people left the Galaxy S2. The S3 is supposed to be better, but with me, the Galaxy devices, I don't see them really doing too much steps up when they actually bring out new flagships. To me, it's like they just change things here and there, or they add more gimmicks to it, like gestures,
To slow down your phones.
yeah, eye control and all that other kind of stuff. Fingerprint and the fingerprint scanner. To me, that's just it's stupid. Anyone out there can tell me it's not. It is to me. I would rather rely on a pattern pin or just a pin number or a password. But your fingerprint, it's like, to me, that's just a gimmick.
Yeah, I know the One Max tried that as well, and the iPhone 5S has that too.
Yeah, and that's the thing that they base their stuff on, is like, it's like, wow, look at this, I have the iPhone 5S and it has the fingerprint scanner. Okay, great, you got barbecue sauce on your finger, and then what? It's amazing to me, like, people like put that as the main reason to get a phone, and I think more people should rely on just what the phone's like true features has over gimmick features. But you going to work, bro?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Still don't like that.
My brother's going to work right now, so. But anyways, yeah, dude, like, it even goes down with, like, a little off topic from what I was gonna talk about today, but like, even like the iOS and Android wars, like, I'm not too heavy involved in that, because I do believe both brands bring something to the table, which is initially what it's supposed to do. I won't knock on someone that has an iPhone or hate on them or whatever. I just think that's really juvenile about it.
I will.
But it's to me, my honest opinion, and people who back Apple will hate this comment of mine, but I think they lost it in 2010. Like, towards the end, beginning 2011, they kind of lost it. They lost their goal, their vision, and their passion, because the crap they're producing now, and they're still stamping $700 price tags on it just because of the Apple logo, is ridiculous.
People still buy.
Oh yeah, I mean, because it was the first, like, I give it credit. It was the first, like, what I would call a super smartphone that came out way back in 2007, and everyone rushed to get it at AT&T, and AT&T was the only store that carried it. But even until today, their innovation has just gone really bad. And then you have a lot of people who back Android that are quick to jump on Apple fanboys and fangirls and tell them, like, oh, you guys stole that from Android. Like, they'll just clearly point it out. But it just shows that Apple's really fallen behind. Like, to me, it's just you're paying, out of $700 something, you're paying $600 for the Apple logo and $100 for its product.
Yeah, there was a lot of jokes about the iOS 8 being compared to an ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I don't want to agree with people, but it is. I mean, that's how far behind Apple's gone. And personally, I believe Apple would still dominate if Steve Jobs was around. And that's not hating on Android, but that's just my honest opinion, that Apple would continuously still do good with Steve Jobs around. And that was their biggest loss. Because from then on, with Tim Cook and all them on there, they ruined it. Lawsuits after lawsuits, you just look like a whiny complainer in the market. This time, and a lot of big tech reviewers like Armando, And all them, what they said was actually true. You start a lawsuit on Samsung back in 2010 on a device you want pulled off the shelves in like the U.S. market that probably won't get that done until about 2013, and they're already on to their next flagship. So that was like wasted time in court, wasted time, with lawyers, litigation, and all that BS, just to get a device that was released years ago pulled off the market, which it will eventually happen.
Which phone were they trying to get pulled off?
They were going after the S2. They were going after the Prevail. They went after a bunch of them. As a matter of fact, a lot of the devices released in 2011 by HTC, Samsung, and I believe, I'm going to say Huawei, but I'm pretty sure it was Kyocera. But they were going after their devices for littlest BS, like icons look the same, or like they'll complain like the edges of the phone look just like an iPhone, or the camera in the back looks like an iPhone. Like they'll say the most tedious little things and start a lawsuit. And like they wonder why Samsung didn't care. It was like, okay, you fight for it now. You want us to take it off the shelf because it's copyright. But by 2013, we had the S4 come out, which is way past S2. And they were going to remove it off the shelves because Samsung's in the business of making money. They don't want people relying on the S2 forever. They want them to go for the S4. So that was a stupid lawsuit brought up. And even right now with like the Rockstar Consortium against Google and all them, like even that was BS. That obviously didn't work out very well because, of course, the whole deal between Apple and Google and Samsung and all them, which is they were not going to do any more lawsuits after these ones they placed 2 years ago. 2 years ago or a year ago, something like that. But, yeah, no more lawsuits, and they should have done that from the beginning. That wasted Apple's time in actually coming up with stuff like you had a cry of fans screaming out the iWatch back in 2011. They never made that possible, and then now we have the Galaxy Gear, the Moto 360, and the LG G Watch. And now Apple's now catching up to do their own version. And it's like you had your fans screaming years ago, giving you guys an idea, a solid, good idea that obviously works. They didn't do that. So that just shows lawsuits and things like that Apple tries to do under the command of Tim Cook, who's leading the company. They should just boot his butt out already. Find someone else that is going to help the company innovate. And then we won't have these little ads of iOS 8 and ice cream sandwich and all that stuff because they'll have something better to look forward to. That's like my total thoughts on that.
So, when you were talking about your 14 hours of battery life, I'd really like to know how you got that. Because I'm like getting 5. It's kind of weird.
Let me get that. I'm sorry, what was that again?
I was saying, when you told me in the Hangouts that you were getting 14 hours of battery life, how did you manage to do that? I'm only getting like 5.
Good, all right, let's bring it back to topic. Okay,
Yeah.
14 hours battery, how I get that out of it, usually, I mean, I don't know if everyone does this, I don't, but like I keep things like auto sync off, so I don't have, like, it doesn't sync all my apps like every second of the day. Like if I go into an app, that's when it will sync and, like update notifications like in Google Plus or Facebook or all that stuff. But that does help with battery life because your phone's not constantly trying to download information every second. Another thing that helps with battery, of course, brightness of the screen, and like my wallpaper, it's mostly black. I mean, usually I usually keep a more black wallpaper, but the darker colors you use requires less power from the battery to animate that vision. So if you have like a all white background, you're gonna kill a lot of your battery because it has to light those bulbs to make the white color. So black backgrounds work very well, and yeah, I don't know. I guess luck because my girlfriend gets pissed off at me because she gets like 5-6 hours on her battery. I get 14, and we're using the phone about the same amount of time. But like, I don't know. She uses games. I'm more like on Google, Twitter, and all that. So I really don't know. It's by luck. But a lot of people ask me that question about battery. Even with the S2, the S2 has like horrible battery life. But I could actually extend the life of my S2 on one single battery about 9 hours, which was a lot more than what a lot of people got out of it. I'm thinking it's the sync, the syncing, and also it could help that there's like a tower, a 4G tower, like less than 15 miles away from where I live. So I'm like connected to the network like with strong signals. It's like the more your phone has to try and connect to a tower, it also drains that battery too. Those are big key factors in battery life. But I like, do you have your sync on all the time?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, that'll probably like contribute to like cutting a lot of your battery out. Because like I mean like most people like to have sync on because they like, I don't know what it is. Like people believe that if you have sync off, you're not going to get your Twitter notifications or Facebook or any of that stuff. But those notifications still come in regardless if sync is on or off. The only thing that I noticed that sync actually controls more of is like your Gmail. Really, pretty much like your Gmail is what it really controls. Mostly that and like news applications. Like if you subscribe to like a news app or whatever, that it'll download info from the news app. But from like your main social network sites, Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, Foursquare, all that, your notifications will come in even if sync is turned off. They will still come in like on time. It won't be like an hour later. I would suggest try doing that. Try running without sync on, and then see if that actually extends the life of your battery. And I have power save on too, so that probably helps.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I don't run the power save to like 14%.
Yeah, I run it from the very beginning. Right when my phone's booted on, power save is on. So, and like and the cool thing about this power save is that it doesn't hinder a lot of the stuff you can do on your device. So, like sometimes where you like other power save apps, if you have it on, like it'll stop your ability to stream videos because it's like you're down below 24%. So trying to play a video, it won't let you do it. Like this one, it'll let you do anything you want to do. It tries to like conserve more of your battery. So that's like the best part of it. And I think that's mostly what I love about the HTC devices now. That and just the boom sound if you get it fixed. That is supposed to be like my main draw to it.
Watching this and listening to it.
Yeah. The camera too. I mean, I don't know if you have the same problem, but doesn't the front-facing camera for you like feel like a little grainy and blurred, especially in low lighting?
I would say, I mean, that's probably because it's a stupid VGA camera. Wish we had like an 2 megapixel, or even the one that was 5 megapixel now that they have. But 3 megapixels isn't gonna really get you anywhere nowadays.
Definitely. Like it's weird for me because like I have like other friends that have front-facing cameras that are VGA, but like even like in low light settings, like in my house, if I have like all my curtains down and live like a vampire, like they can still catch their facial features on their camera, and they have the same 0.3 megapixel or VGA camera that I have, and I'm trying to like use the app Glide to send video messages to my friends, and it's like you just see the outline of my head. You can't even see like my eyes or nothing. And I'm like, I trip out on that. Like, how is it your VGA camera is so much better than mine? Like, I think that was one thing that when they're gonna make the phone like a budget-friendly type phone, but still like was it like $279 the phone is right now price? They can at least pop.
No, I think it's like $249 now because I think they have like a $30 sale, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They have it. Yeah. So it's like $249.99. You put a 1.3 megapixel camera in there.
Exactly. Yeah, the Evo had that. The Evo had a 1.3 megapixel camera.
Yeah, that's like for me. I mean, when I take selfies on like Instagram, because I do that, I usually use my Evo because that catches better lighting. Even in low light situations, I can still get a good picture out of it. But
yeah, that's the thing. I was told that once. But the thing is, one of the reasons I got this phone was because did I ever tell you about the front-facing problem my Evo had?
no.
For some reason, when you go into the front-facing camera, it would like flip the image. So whatever. Oh wait, no. Wait, yeah, that's funny. It would like flip the image upside down. So I told HTC, and they told me the factory. But even after I did that, it still didn't work. So I still don't know what the problem is.
Right. I don't know, man. With me, when it comes to different devices and different manufacturers, I don't know exactly like like what they do as far as like what choices they put in, or how they even come together to get these phones built together. Like, what did they decide to cut to make the phone budget friendly, or just hit a certain quota? Like that to me is just astonishing on what they're willing to cut, especially when it's so simple as looking at your customers and just noticing what they do. Like, more than half of America takes selfie pictures, and the idea of putting a camera on the front of your phone besides the back, it gave people the ability to actually like see better instead of using that little mirror bulb that they used to stick in the back of the phones. And yeah, it's crazy to me. Like you could just simply look at your market and see what people are doing, and then configure, which is like my excitement for Project Aura. Like, it's tossed around very little, but Project Aura to me is going to be a game changer when it comes to smartphones. Being able to pick your own different modules to build your smartphone the way you want it, and it comes to a price point, so you can actually have your device run dual core, single core, or quad core. You can have a 5 megapixel front facing camera or a 2 megapixel, and it looks weird because you're like piecing the phone piece by piece on top of a main motherboard, and it comes out with your smartphone. But I think that's a super huge idea. I really hope that it comes out this year, if not beginning of next year. And I would definitely pick up one of those devices, whatever they're going to call it, other than Project Aura. I know that's what its code name is now, but I really am excited for that, because I think that will change it all for everybody. You build the phone the way you want it, and there should be no complaints of how your phone runs because you're building it yourself. You order the parts, they put it together and send it to you, and you can interchange. So you can even buy spare parts. Like, if you want to run let's say a dual core for now, but it's probably beneficial that you get a quad core and you up your RAM. They send you the modules, which is the best part, and you get it in the mail and you just easily change out. That is going to be awesome to me. I think that's the best idea they've ever come up with. Other than that, what else devices do you have besides the Evo?
That's about it. I used to have the Optimus Elite. I gave it to my little brother, and so it's just even the desire.
Ah, how is the Elite? Because one of the things that I read about the Elite is that it has NFC.
If it has, I haven't seen it. Probably check maybe a little later and get back to you on that. If it has NFC, I definitely have. So I'm not exactly sure. I know for one thing it's laggy. That's why I really want the Evo. It's super laggy. Like, moving around, you can actually see the delay. Well, that's probably because it's a single core, but it's extremely laggy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the Optimus name used to mean a lot to me, especially when, like, way back in the day with Virgin Mobile, the only two smartphones they had was the Intercept and the Optimus V. And the Intercept was super laggy, but that was like my first phone I've ever like flashed a ROM on, did any modifications to it internally, and so I always loved that little phone. But the Optimus V was just such like more powerful. Like, I got a greater experience out of it. The downside to what's going on with the Optimus that I frown on is, like, my brother that just left. He went with Metro PCS, and he has the Optimus L70. It's a good, nice looking phone, but the internal storage, 1.2 gigabytes, is it's just too horrible.
Wait, that's all he gets? 1.2?
Yeah, like, he was showing me the other day, he downloaded I think like 4 or 5 apps, and when he looked at the total amount of space left on his internal storage, it was like 541 megabytes.
Gracious. And I'm going to complain that I only get like 4.7.
Yeah, it's like, and like, I try to explain to him like how the internal storage works. Basically, like, if you pick a phone and it says it has like 8 gigs of internal storage, about 4 gigs of that is used for the actual software, and then the remainder is free for you to put apps, pictures, music, whatever. But
sometimes I wish I had talked to you before I bought this phone. When I saw 8 gigs, that's expecting all 8 gigs.
yeah, that's the biggest thing that, like, I threw a video up about that several months ago, and I was trying to explain because I get questions about that a lot, and I try to explain, like, when it says it has like take like the Galaxy S2, it supposedly had, I believe, like 11 or yeah, how many it had? Well, let's say that they said it had 16 gigabytes of internal storage.
Mm-hmm.
16 gigabytes, but what they don't tell you is that 4 gigs of that is already used for the software. So you have like 12 to 11 remaining. So you're not actually getting the full 16, which to me, I would appreciate all the handset manufacturers to actually like say if they put an internal storage of 8 gigabyte capacity and they know like 4 gigs is going to be used for the
Yeah.
software, actually advertise it has 4 gigs of internal storage and just leave out what's already used. That way, people can, kind of get it. Like, okay, I'm only going to get 4 with this. I want 8 gigs, so let me get this one that has actually 8 gigs open. Like, that's just like bad advertising to me. And then people always trip out. Like, it says I have 16, but I only have 8 gigs left. And it's like, yeah, well, you have TouchWiz on top of Android, so you're gonna have a huge chunk used up already, and that you can't change. You can't free all that memory up. Otherwise, you'll have a device with no operating systems on it.
I don't know what else to ask. Well, so do you think that ACT is gonna send us a patch for this breakdown, or will they just give us sunset?
Yeah, definitely. The way how they do it, and I noticed they had done this already before with the Desire because I guess apparently when they first released it, Jelly Bean did have problems. So when I had first bought my phone, as soon as I powered it on and got it set up, there was like an update already ready to download, and I had to download it, and it was like a 143 megabyte download, and apparently it was supposed to like fix like the radio and other stuff internally, and I just flashed it, and it solved a lot of bugs. But that's what they're gonna do eventually, and this is kind of like what I hope people catch from this live broadcast is if they're having problems with anything as far as what's broken after flashing KitKat, like just go straight to the website, hit contact, either go on a live chat with a rep or send them a message and tell them what is going on. They won't know what's wrong with the software update because apparently, I guess they don't have a lot of time testing it like they should. But if enough people get the word out to HTC, like, yeah, Boom sounds broken with your update, they can actually go into the source files because they basically built the update and find the audio bug and actually fix it, patch it, and then resend a new download, which will probably be like maybe a 90 megabyte file to 100 something, depending on what is all affected and what they're going to fix. So we should see some type of patch update, hopefully in a month. The longest it could take is like 3 months that I've seen. So just cross your fingers.
The cross, man, the cross.
Yeah, 'cause because I'm gonna close this out now, but just my final thoughts on it with the KitKat update is I think tremendously it was poorly put together, or if not, they didn't test it long enough to actually see what bugs it could have. I don't know if they actually like try to play music, because that's a key feature on the phone that everyone uses is their music player, and anyone can tell that it got more quieter. Even trying to like repair it with speaker booster apps that are supposed to increase sound, that didn't help at all. That didn't even change anything. And having to get into your recovery, that's, I mean, people will see the live touchdown today that we actually got in it, but before that, it was like you couldn't even get in it. Like, it was such a pain in the butt to actually get into your recovery. And I just like, I don't know, I just think they could have done it well. They could have took more time into it. I wouldn't have mind waiting till August. I really wouldn't have. It's just I would have wanted it done right. I like where the update is given to you one time and one time only, and that should be it. I don't like having to deal with this broke, that broke, this looks like crap. Let's update it later. That's just like that to me is a terrible way of treating your customers. So, anyhow, yeah, it's been a little bit over 30 minutes. Anyways, bro, I'm gonna close this out because I gotta do more other stuff. But anytime that I do a live broadcast, if you want to get in on it, just let me know, and I'll let you know when I do it. And
Right.
more people involved. So definitely. But other than that, dude, if you got any other questions, or if anyone that watches this has any questions, you guys can freely hit me up on Hangouts. I do reply. I don't check YouTube comments very often because my life is like super busy. I have two daughters that keep me running around the house. So, but Hangouts is a definite way to get my attention for anyone that has any problems with any device that I've covered in my past, present, or future. So, and again, I want to thank you for tuning in, bro. That's really awesome. You came in here, and I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so we're gonna end this out. Thank you guys for watching. Also, if you guys have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out. Thank you for everyone who helped me, get to 400 subscribers on my YouTube channel. That is totally awesome. I appreciate that. And I will see you guys with another video. Till then, you guys have a great week. Thanks.
All right, man.